Brats on the grill, and that means we are in Milwaukee and Miller Park, where the roof is open. The clouds are out, but it is a perfect temperature for baseball. The Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers and the Redbirds look for the sweep. They have been in this spot before. As a matter of fact, they have absolutely dominated the Central Division since 2001. The Cardinals and Astros split then. 0-2 they won. 0-3 the Cubs would win it out of nowhere. 0-4, 0-5, and 0-6 all St. Louis. What about in 07? It's starting to get real interesting. That's Al Rabosky. I'm Dan McLaughlin. This has been a lot of fun. Cardinals are playing great baseball. The pitching has been good. The hitting has come around. The fielding has been there as well. All clicking, Al, and it all adds up to just being 3.5 games out.
You're right. We went 100-plus games where we did not have consistent starting pitching, but all of a sudden the Cardinals are back in this race because the starters have been there and doing their job. And as you said, the offense, the defense, everything starts clicking when you get good starting pitching.
That's our Ford Key matchup, as a matter of fact. The Cardinals now have 8 consecutive quality starts in a row. Pinheiro, Wells, Reyes, and Looper, and today it is Wainwright.
Well, the best thing is you see that time through the rotation, all wins. Only Adam Wainwright, who arguably pitched his best game of his career last Friday. He had a shutout going into the 9th inning, and then doomsday hits as he gives up a 2-run home run and gets beat 2-0. But that is a learning experience, and I think he will build off of that, and I'm sure he can't wait to get back on the mound.
So Wainwright goes today for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now the offense is also clicking, and how about last night? We always talk about it. MV3, Albert Pujols, Scott Rowland, and Jim Edmonds. When those three click, this offense goes, and that's been the case as of late.
Well, it really hasn't happened a lot this season. Matter of fact, when all three of them hit a home run, last time it was April 22nd in Chicago. That was 275th home run of Albert's career. Here you see Scott Rowland gets a breaking ball. He hits his 8th home run of the season, as well as Jim Edmonds, and most impressively, an opposite field shot, no doubter.
Well, the Cardinals are trying to make it a clean sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers, and 6 straight over the Brewers overall. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, it's our starting lineups and our first pitch from Miller Park. It's Game 3 this afternoon on your home of the Cardinals, FSN Midwest. Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. By Auto Tire, the tire pros. For the lowest bottom line price, you ought to go to Auto Tire. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Inside Miller Park, Cardinals looking for a sweep this afternoon. And the Redbirds are playing some of their best baseball of all season. It is the closest they have been in quite some time. Matter of fact, since April, the Cardinals are 3.5 games out at 57-60. A look at Tony's lineup today. We highlight Jim Edmonds, who Tony classified as having an ouchie late in the ball game last night. Last 10 games, a home run, that was last night, and a .450 average, but he's in there today as the Cardinals are trying to get even closer in the Central. Eckstein, Ludwig, and Pujols in the first. Edmonds again the cleanup man, followed by Rowland, Duncan, Molina, Wainwright, and then Aaron Miles. Our Rico starter is Dave Bush, and this season, Al, his record stands at 9-8.
One of the more consistent pitchers for Milwaukee all season long. And he is just not in particular, he's a good competitor. He's got 4 basic pitches, but he doesn't have anything that's exceptional. But he'll just go out there and he'll challenge hitters. Mixes pitches in and out and breaking balls down and away.
Their defense, let's take a look at it, as always, brought to you by Auto Tires. We go around the horn. Jenkins, Hall, and Gross in the outfield. Braun, Hardy, Dillon, the second baseman today. Fielder over at first, and Damian Miller is behind the plate. 7 hits in 4 innings by Dave Bush, his last time out against the Cardinals.
Making his first start of the season against St. Louis today. But he is 0-2 with an ERA of 12.60 in 2 starts, both coming last season.
So David Eckstein will lead it off for the Cardinals. Cardinals start 3.5 games out. Chicago has lost 4 straight. Cardinals have won 4 straight. And Milwaukee has lost 3 straight. So the Redbirds all of a sudden right in the thick of things in the Central Division.
And the Cardinals have beaten Milwaukee 5 straight games to get them into this position of challenging for the division lead.
1-0 pitch to Eckstein, who was at the ballpark very early today. No batting practice on the field for the Cardinals. But he puts himself through a ton of different individual drills, in particular with throwing the baseball and making sure that his arm stays strong throughout the year, or is it strong as it can get. You'll see him throwing the baseball off the backstop, coming out here 3-4 hours before the game, then long toss, ground balls, and then working inside in the cage. The 3-0 pitch. A strike at the knees on the inside corner.
Generous right here. Rotation has been the problem for Milwaukee of late. They are 1-8 with an ERA of 7.6 in their past 16 games.
The 3-1 pitch. That's 3-2 now. Our home plate umpire this afternoon is Mike Everett. Dana DeMuth at first, Kerwin Danley at second, Doug Eddings is over at third. Full count on Eckstein. Slowly hit up the first base line. Bush will take it himself and tag out David. That's how we start the game.
David Bush, very slow, deliberate wind up, and then kind of jumps at the hitter, exploding a little bit. But you saw him with example there against Eckstein. He was not afraid to pitch inside.
Here's Ludwig with Ankiel on the bench, and as Tony indicated on the pregame show that Ankiel would have played center field today if Edmonds couldn't go, but Jimmy says he's all right. This time of year, you can't really rest a lot of guys, Al, because you're in the thick of a pennant race, and you're trying to make sure you've got your best lineup out there day in and day out.
Right, and when you're in a pennant race, guys, you know, they'll have a tendency to, you know, look past or mentally get past physical injuries. Hey, Bush, we talked about how he has that ability to pitch inside. He pitches from the third base side of the rubber. So that allowed him to get in on the right-handed batters a little better.
Guy like Ludwig, a lot of times you'll see him just kind of diving out over the plate, and with the tailing action that Bush has got, you would figure he'd be able to get inside on a guy like Ludwig.
Oftentimes, though, trying to get in, they don't get in far enough.
A swing and a miss by Ludwig. 2-2.
Not a real complicated delivery, but it's just kind of very slow and methodical. And then when he gets to the point, he kind of just jumps at home plate a little bit.
And Ludwig pulls it for a base hit past Braun and into left. So 1 out base hit for Ludwig brings in Albert Pujols.
Ball right. I've always considered Ludwig to be a low ball hitter.
And why do you say that?
Just the way he swings at the pitches, just the way he makes contact. He looks like he likes the ball down, and you can tie him up and in.
Now it's Pujols, who's had a big series. 25 home runs after his dinger last night off the scoreboard in center. First pitch taken high by Albert.
I just love to watch today's pitchers and their inability to hit their spots. I wish he would have thrown the ball where Damian Miller asked for it, inside to Albert. I'll take that anytime.
Edmonds is a cleanup man today. He's on deck. 2 balls and no strikes. With runners on, Pujols at 304 with 11 dingers. Base is empty, 330 with 14 home runs.
5 for 9 with a home run in this series.
On the inside corner, 2-1.
Cardinals in this series, and they're 2-0 against the Brewers, have hit 381, 32 hits. And so you see how he throws the ball way out away from his body, so a hitter gets a clear look at the release point.
And it's pulled foul, 2-2. The Brewers starters are 1-8 in their last 16 games. And the last victory by a Brewers starting pitcher was last night's starter Gallardo. He did that against the Phillies in early August.
Last time out, Bush got a no decision, but he gave up a career high 11 hits in a extra inning win for Milwaukee.
A 2-2 pitch. Pujols spoils that pitch. That's where a lot of guys will be out in front, can't make contact, and just stay alive. But this is where Pujols excels. Doesn't strike out all that often for being a power hitter.
He's climbed to 8th in the National League batting race. His .318, tied for 6th with his 25 home runs, 10th in RBIs with 76. And you're right, even when he's out in front, he still has his hands back.
2-2 pitch. I asked Albert the other day, with Bonds going for the home run record before he got it, I said, is there one record you would want once your playing career is over? And he said, I'd like to have the most batting titles. That means more to me than RBIs and the home runs, and certainly I'd love to have World Series rings, but batting championships, if I could get that, that's what I'd want. He has one under his belt. This could be a double play ball. Well, they started the runner, so a low throw over to Fielder and picked the backhanded play. Pretty good scoop over there by Prince Fielder, and Ludwig is in scoring position at second.
Prince Fielder is a big guy. He's committed 12 errors, but we've seen at times where he is very agile, and other times he can show you those soft hands. Example of it there, scooping the ball out of the dirt.
4 hits on Tuesday for Edmonds, and 3 of those with runners in scoring position. Season high 4 RBIs in that night, and a home run last night, his first since early June 9th against Anaheim.
How about Jimmy with 6 for 10 and a home run in this series? Last 3 games, a hitting streak, .571 during that time. He knew yesterday when he woke up that that nerve ailment was going to flare up, and that's why he came out of the game late last night, but back in the lineup here today. As you said, guys will play with their little ouchies.
That's what Tony calls them.
Ouchies.
Ouchies. They're not hurt, they're ouchies. Little dinged up.
Well, at this time of year, if you don't have ouchies, you haven't played hard.
Edmonds has had his share, coming off of shoulder surgery, toe surgery, 37 years of age now. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Crowd still filing in here to Miller Park in Milwaukee. Roof is open. The paneling in the outfield is open. The 2-1 pitch. Fought off by Edmonds, hit out of play. 2-2. Game 1 of this series, it was Milwaukee picking up 3 runs in the first, and the Cardinals turned the trick last night. They did that in the first inning. Count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ludwig, the runner at second base. Off speed pitch, spoiled by Edmonds. Chance for the Cardinals here to strike first. Edmonds is hitting .239 with runners in scoring position this year, and looks at a ball inside. 3-2 with Scott Rowland on deck.
Or wasn't it nice to see Pinheiro have a couple real efficient innings? And now you watch this one. That goes to 5th season.
He has seen some tough times, as it took a while for guys like Hardy and Weeks, Bill Hall, Fielder to get here. Now Braun. 3-2, a breaking ball, and Edmonds strikes out. First strikeout of the ball game. No score after a half inning. Well, there's a look at Ned Yost, who showed you his 5th year as a manager with the Milwaukee Brewers. Wears number 3 in honor of Dale Earnhardt, his good friend that passed away. Gross, Hardy, and Fielder. The first for Milwaukee, followed by Braun and Jenkins. 17 home runs in his career against the Cardinals. Dillon, Hall, Miller, and the pitcher Bush batting 9th. Our advanced auto parts starter is Adam Wainwright. Record of 10-9 and a complete game loss on Friday against the Dodgers.
Team high 24 start. First ever start against the Brewers. Adam, ERA just over 3 since the All-Star break, and he's won 3 of 5 decisions.
And a 1-0 pitch to Gabe Gross is pop foul. At what point do you get concerned about the innings of a first-year pitcher in the rotation and a guy that has pitched in the major leagues, Adam Wainwright, but not as a starter?
Well, he appears to me that he's right on track. Now, you will have to be a little concerned in September, like any minor league starter, because they never pitched in September. But he's big, strong. He's pitching much better now. You know, since May 22nd, spanning 15 starts, he's 7-6 with an ERA at 3.07 with 10 quality starts. So he's pitching better. You know, in his first 8 starts begin the season, he had an ERA over 6 and was 3-3.
Joel Pinheiro was terrific again last night. Back-to-back 7-inning starts and 2 wins for the Cardinals and Pinheiro. He's now 2-1. Been a nice find so far.
Absolutely. And you know, he's a guy that goes out there and, you know, he'll have numerous innings where he'll be under 10 pitches.
Very, very efficient. And you wonder if that's a product of him not being in the rotation and just trying to be efficient, being conscious of it, or if that's his track record.
Well, and part of it is throwing to contact. You know, and that was something that Dave Duncan preaches. It was also something that Nick Levis said about Dave Bush. You know, Milwaukee started today, say he pitches to contact. Well, it wasn't exactly that way in the first inning.
And a swing and a miss, and Wainwright starts his day with a strikeout. Comes back to get him. Look at the defense behind Adam today, brought to you by Auto Tires. We go around the horn. Duncan in left, Edmonds in center, Ludwig is in right, Roland, Eckstein, Miles, and Pujols on the infield. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. A .988 fielding percentage, that is 5th in the National League among left fielders, and that might surprise some folks, especially for anybody that watched postseason play last year when Duncan struggled in the outfield.
Well, he's much improved from a year ago. He's only made 2 errors on the season and numerous spectacular catches.
Here's J.J. Hardy. 1 ball, 1 strike.
J.J. last year, you know, he had an abbreviated season, went out to surgery, and it looks like he's wearing down a little bit.
Got off to a terrific start. Home runs were piling up and really came out of nowhere with the power production that he put together early on.
He had 18 home runs in the first half, only 2 since that time, and this team is very dependent on home runs.
Backhanded off the glove of Eckstein, fires to first. Pujols can't come up with it. Very well could be another error on David Eckstein, who has fought it with the glove this year.
David tries set up there, then it goes off his back leg. He reaches down, throws it, but didn't have much on the throw, and Albert couldn't hold on to it. So slings it over there, short hops Albert, and one of the few times that he gets a true hop, but he couldn't hold on.
They give him a base hit.
Very generous.
Here is Prince Fielder hitting .286. Homered in game 1 of the series. He has 37 on the year. Drove one to the wall last night. Very fine play by Edmonds at the wall to pull it back in.
One of 4 All-Stars for the Milwaukee Brewers, and leads the National Leagues in home runs, extra base hits, second in slugging percentage, tied for second with total bases, fourth in RBIs.
For a big man, as you mentioned before, he is agile, but he doesn't move laterally very well defensively, but when he gets going, he can run fairly well for a big man. His thighs are huge. His base is huge.
Got thunder thighs.
He certainly does. Ooh, 3-0.
Adam needs that pitch. He's painting the outside corner and not getting much for it. I've never seen Adam as a starter, so minimal at bats for these Brewers.
The 3-0 pitch. It's the same pitch as the one before.
Yeah, that's why I think the crowd a little bit on the home plate umpire, Mike Everett.
3-1.
A lot of times, if you consistently establish that you can hit that spot, you'll eventually get it.
Fielder hits it high in the air, opposite way. Duncan over near the line and makes the catch on the run in fair territory. Good play by Duncan for out number 2. And Fielder is not one to argue with the umpires right now. He's appealing a suspension of 3 games, and he said, look, when you've got 2 people at 250 pounds, you're going to bump each other. He's talking about the bump that he had with the umpire that caused a suspension.
Wally Bell may not appreciate that.
But not.
There, Chris made a nice running play. And remember, that ball's going to continue to slice away from him coming off the bat of a left-hander.
Did you see the celebration of Shelly Duncan?
No, and I didn't get a bruise watching it either.
I mean, he is going to break somebody's forearms.
Well, he grew up watching the Bash Brothers.
That's fun to watch, though.
Apparently he gets a home run and he gets a little excited, and teammates are all happy for the home run, and then they realize he's coming near them and they cringe.
Here's Ryan Braun, speaking of home runs, cleanup man with 23. Went 3 for 4 in game 1, was shut down last night.
He's got, how many, 71 games played for this young guy. 23 home runs, 60 RBIs, and a .350 batting average. If he had enough at bats, he would be leading the National League in batting average. Got called up on May 25th, and he can hit, but he's also made 18 errors during that time.
1-1 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. The sun is peeking through the clouds and then coming through the open space of Miller Park. I get nervous when the roof moves. I don't know if you do. I do.
I think the sky's falling.
I think the roof might at some point. I get concerned. 2-2. Good pitch here by Wainwright.
Take a little bit off, a little cutter right there. So he's got his curveball working, cutter. Fastball looks like it has some life to it, spotting it well.
In the dirt, blocked by Molina. So with 2 outs and a count of 3-2, the runner from first, that's J.J. Hardy, off with the next pitch.
Milwaukee very, very happy to have this young man, and they have some exceptionally talented young players, and this may be the best of the bunch. He's doing things that Albert did when he first came up.
There goes Hardy, and the pitch is grounded left side to Scott Rowland. Across the diamond to Albert. Milwaukee strands a runner in the first. Coming up for the Cardinals, Scott Rowland leads it off after an inning of play in Milwaukee. Day baseball on FSN Midwest, and there's no score. This date in baseball history brought to you by Schnucks. The Dodgers trade Pedro Guerrero to the Cardinals for John Tudor. August 16th, 1988. One of Al's favorites, Pete Guerrero.
Oh, baby. We tell some stories now.
He could hit.
He could hit.
Now outside the ball field, there's question marks.
Well, there were some real stories there, but how about you could tell things on the baseball diamond, like when he was playing third base, as you see rolling here, playing third base for the Dodgers. And one time Tommy Lasorda said, "Pete, what are you thinking right before the pitch is made?" He goes, "Well, I don't want the ball hit to me." He goes, "Well, you shouldn't think that. What else you think?" He said, "I don't want to hit the Sacks either." Steve Sachs had his problems throwing. You know, it's like Pedro was he was fun to be around.
I enjoyed watching him.
Oh, he could hit.
Yes, he could. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Popped up by Roland, and that'll find the seats out of play. Any idea the whereabouts of Pedro Guerrero?
He's in Miami.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, I believe, you know, that's the last I've heard of him. I played in a golf tournament with him a couple years ago.
How big was he?
Really not that much bigger.
Now, he's one of the guys I would envision him getting out of the game and enjoying life a little bit even more. Braun calls off the pitcher to make the catch.
During the break, I'll tell you the latest story I heard about him.
Assuming it's not for error.
No.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And it's not as bad as what you might think, but.
Here's Duncan. Double last night. 1 for 6 in this series.
Really struggling in August, batting only .152. Did get a hit last night, but 14 strikeouts and 33 at bats in August.
Pete would be a good fantasy camper.
I'm not
or is
sure
that
about
questionable
that.
too? Oh man, look at this one. Getting the upper deck almost.
Start too early for Pete.
Duncan just a little ahead of that last one. The 1-1 pitch on its way. He's about due to take one deep. 20 home runs and 60 RBIs on the year. You see the struggles in August. The 2-1 pitch. Hit out of play.
July 26 off of Jason Marquis was the last time he hit a home run. We'll get a chance to see Jason tomorrow afternoon.
Pitching matchups as we see the 2-2 pitch to Duncan. Just outside, it'll be Looper and Richhill. Then Anthony Reyes on Saturday against Sean Marshall. Carlos Zambrano will go for the Cubs on Sunday night against Kip Wells. And then Monday, Joel Pinheiro and Ted Lilly. Lilly made the start last night for the Cubs, and that was a loss. Hardy backs up, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs.
Marquis going today.
Cardinals return home on August 21st for a visit from NL East foes, the Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. Great seats to the Marlins and Braves series are available online today. Prime Seat Club at STLCardinals.com. We also want to remind you the Cincinnati series in early September. Tickets have been given back to the Cardinals, so there's close to 5,000 seats available for the game on September 1st. So take advantage of that at STLCardinals.com or give the Cardinals a call right now, 345-9000. Happy to take your call. Tap foul off the bat of Molina. No balls and 2 strikes. Cardinals will face 3 left-handers over the weekend. We know they have had their fits with lefties, and you would figure that Encarnacion would probably see some playing time for Tony La Russa, and has not played thus far in the trip.
That's not a given, though.
Wow. 1-2.
There's Juan. He says, you know, the knee is an issue, but it's something he can play with and through. And he is got lofty numbers against left-handers.
2-2 on Molina. The pitcher Wainwright on deck.
Molina, .357 average in his last 17 games with a bat. 3 for 9 in this series.
Count of 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on with 2 outs here in the second, no score. Two-two to Yadi. Swing and a long one out to left field, and the Cardinals have the lead. 1-0 St. Louis. Long home run off the bat of Molina.
He had not hit a home run until he faced Marquis back in April 27th. So Duncan got him in July. Molina got Jason Marquis, the former teammate, in April. And now Bush gives up a home run. Left that breaking ball middle half inside. He just turns on it and hits a laser into the seats.
0-2 pitch in that at bat. I thought it was strike 3, and Molina got a second life with it. It was called a ball. Then he works the count to 2-2 and hits the home run. Wainwright pops it up, out of play and in the seats. Everything is coming together right now.
Yep. That's the 4th home run the Cardinals have hit in these 2+ games. But they had a .381 batting average in the first 2. 32 base hits the first 2 games of this series. Cardinals on the season against the Brewers are 6-5. Molina's home run was the 8th of in the series. And the Cardinals have hit over 300.
2-2 pitch. Wainwright in the air out to left center field. And the catch is made by Jenkins, but Molina here in the second inning gives the Cardinals an early lead. Off of Dave Bush on a 2-2 pitch. 1-0 Redbirds. September 7th, a limited number of Cardinal fans will have the opportunity to spend the entire night on the field at the annual Cardinals campout presented by Bass Pro Shops and Tracker Boats. All campers will also receive a sleeping bag courtesy of Bass Pro Shops. For tickets or more information, head to the Cardinals website at stlcardinals.com or call 345-9600. Yadier Molina with his second home run of the season, and the Cardinals lead it 1-0. First pitch to Jenkins, fly ball into center. Edmonds there, and as deep as Jenkins can hit the baseball, 1 pitch, 1 out. Jim Edmonds playing that very shallow center field. We talk about it time and again, but as good as he gets a jump, you know, it really doesn't matter the fact that he plays that shallow because he takes so many hits away in front of him.
Well, that's it. Even at times, Cardinals would like him to play a little deeper, but you know, it's his philosophy, and he's an 8-time Gold Glove winner. Is I can take away a lot more hits in front of me, and I still get back on a ball.
Here's Joe Dillon. Base hit in this series as a pinch hitter.
Had the triple last night. But he was in spring training with Florida, released late in spring, picked up by the Marlins, and then he was leading the Nashville club, their AAA affiliate, in hitting.
In the air out to left. Long way to go for Duncan near the line, and makes the catch on the run.
kind of an example. You know, Chris plays deep, and part of that is protection, but then he makes a relatively easy play, a long run.
Email us here on foxsports.com on MSN. The keyword is Cardinals booth. foxsports.com on MSN, keyword Cardinals booth.
See if Adam can have a real efficient inning, get Billy Hall right here and a pitch or two. Get his teammates back on offense.
And Hall rips it to Roland from his seat of his pants, and he got him. Oh, what a play by Scott Rolen. You will not see a better play at third base than Scott Rolen than this one. Oh my goodness. 1-2-3 inning with a little help from the Gold Glover over at third. 1-0 as we head to the third. 1-0 Cardinals as we move to the top of the third. Redbirds, great defense in this series, and what a play by Scott Rolen. Geico quote, "The nightlife isn't as enticing as LA or Miami, or I might be tempted to go out more." LA native Ryan Braun on living and playing in Milwaukee.
Obviously, he's never been to Fitz's with Tom Meek.
Fitz is one of the great establishments that carries Anheuser-Busch products here in Milwaukee. Fitzgibbons Pub. Two balls and no strikes on the 9th place hitter, and that's Aaron Miles. Got to swallow some pride to have the pitcher hitting in front of you, and you got to be batting 9th in the National League.
Hey, you're in the lineup.
And that's ball 4. 4 straight to Miles. But this is the kind of situation that Tony envisions by putting that man in the 9th spot, a secondary leadoff man, and now you have your original leadoff man and David Eckstein.
It's all designed to have more runners on base ahead of the third place hitter. Did it for McGuire. You put him in third base instead of put him in a cleanup because he is guaranteed to bat in the first inning. Then after that, you just never know, but designed to have the double leadoff man, so you have hopefully more base runners on base when that third spot comes up, and Albert benefit from it.
Our sonic pitch count for Busch already this afternoon at 52 pitches, 22 balls, and 30 strikes.
He's already thrown more pitches this inning than I think Wainwright did last inning.
Short lead at first by Miles, an 0-1 pitch. Eckstein lifts it in the air to shallow right field. Catch is made, and Aaron Miles retreats back to first. Brings in Ludwig, who singled to left his first time up. We haven't talked about it that much, but the play from Scott Rolen to end the second was remarkable.
I liked Wainwright's reaction to it. Clap for his Gold Glove third baseman and a big wow.
That'll pick you up.
Oh, absolutely. And that's pitching to contact. Your defense is on their toes. They're ready. I think he only threw about 4 pitches last inning.
Off speed pitch taken for a ball by Ludwig.
Milwaukee's got some smart pitchers. Capuano is a Phi Beta Kappa from Duke with a degree in economics. Now you got Dave Bush, who went to Wake Forest with a double major in psychology and sociology.
And then you have Suppan, who owns a restaurant. Kind of.
Is it ever open?
I don't know. He's been working on it for a couple of years. Soup's Grill in LA.
He's found city politics and zoning commission. Pitching behind, and Nick Leyva, who turns 54 today. Milwaukee's third base coach said that Dave Bush usually pitches to contact. Well, that hasn't been the case here today.
And it's 3-1 on Ludwig. On deck, Albert Pujols.
There's birthday boy. 54 for. Said they gave him a haircut. That was his birthday present.
Ludwig pops it up. Shallow center.
That's up there.
J.J. Hardy is calling for it. The shortstop makes the catch. Back to first is Miles with 2 outs. Pujols grounded out to short his first time up. And Pujols' first pitch is fouled away. Mammoth home run by Albert yesterday. Talking with some people on the field prior to the game, they thought it was one of the longest home runs they've seen at this ballpark. And yet listed at only 445 feet.
I think you ought to step it off.
Are you giving me trouble over these measurements? I'm just repeating.
Well, you know, see, there's something that Jim the Cat Hayes could do for us.
He says he has something in store for all of us.
Oh yeah, you know, see if he can get it done. It's not that big a deal.
The 0-2. Tap foul. You want to give us a hint?
Arm wrestling. Are you excited now?
I could pass. One and 2 on Albert. I gave Jim a 3 for 4 on the pregame today. Scott Rowland gave him a 2 for 4 last night.
Or did he grade himself that? I thought he graded himself.
Rowland acknowledged it though.
Oh.
And Pujols hits it to Braun. A forced play at second. Fires wide. But Dillon is there. And Albert is 0 for 2. Only run of this game, a home run by Molina back in the second. 1-0. Midway through the third. 1-0 Cardinals as we move to the bottom of the third. Damian Miller leads it off and looks at a strike from Wainwright. Adam has given up a base hit. Second man he saw J.J. Hardy in the first, and that's it. He's set down 5 straight. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Damian doesn't get a lot of playing time, but he has had a couple memorable games. As the backup catcher had tied a franchise record with 7 RBIs in 1 game. And then he had 11 RBIs in consecutive games. Becoming just the 4th catcher since 1949 to accomplish that feat. Joined Walker Cooper, Johnny Bench, and Michael Barrett.
Two and 2.
Also had a 4 for 4 game on July 7th, but since that time he's only batting .122. 5 for 41.
And he is out. Second strikeout for Wainwright. And with that, we tell you that Cardinal Baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors, Kia, the power to surprise. By Rico. Move your ideas with Rico dependability. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. With Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. We are at Miller Park in Milwaukee, where the Cardinals are looking for a 3-game sweep of the first place Brewers. And a swing and a miss by Dave Bush, the pitcher, hitting just 135 this year. 6 straight set down by Wainwright.
Had the best ball strike ratio, but he's been efficient.
And a curveball, and he strikes him out. 2 consecutive strikeouts and 3 on the afternoon. Well, we hope you tune in tomorrow night. It's a look around the major leagues, the FSN Baseball Report, covering every team all season long with highlights, interviews, and analysis you won't get anywhere else. FSN Baseball Report, Friday at 6, right here on FSN Midwest. In the air out to deep center field. Edmonds on the move, at the track, at the wall, looks up, and it's off the wall. Gabe Gross with a 2-out double. That's the deepest part of the ballpark, where Jets out there in center.
And Jim almost got back in time to try and make an over-the-shoulder catch. As he plays shallow and got the arms extended, Gabe Gross gave it a ride out to center field, but with 2 outs, Wainwright has a chance to pitch out around that double. Seems so close to the wall that the carom kind of goes off his body, but holds him just to a double. That's good defense.
Pitch on the outside corner.
J.J. Hardy 0 for 9 in the series. Excuse me, you had to hit the first time up, so he's 1 for 9 in the series, 0 for 8 in the first 2 games. Been very quiet, and the first time around, or we saw him earlier in the season, boy, he just was on fire.
High and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It was a big reason why they were out to an 8-game lead in the Central Division.
Yeah, first time All-Star.
Runner at second, a 2-1 pitch. And on deck it is Prince Fielder. They have flip-flopped Fielder and Braun prior to this series to try to get more production, and they actually dropped down J.J. Hardy to the 8th spot in the lineup last weekend against Houston, and that really paid off.
Yeah, he was on fire in that series, and then back to the 2-hole.
2 runners on now for Fielder. First walk issued by Wainwright. They're striking out the 8th and 9th place hitters. A double by Gabe Gross off the wall in center. Walk to Hardy, and now it's Fielder who flied to left his first time up. Coming into this series, Milwaukee, as you see Tony La Russa, the Milwaukee and Ned Yost had the 4th best record in the National League at home, but a completely different team on the road. We haven't seen that so far. They have struggled in this series in every facet. Breaking ball, a beauty for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Prince Fielder made his major league debut at the Brewers in '05 as he gave up a scholarship to Arizona State to sign with Milwaukee. Drafted out of high school in 2002. Of course, the son of former major league first baseman Cecil Fielder. And now time called by Yadier Molina. They want to talk about this situation. 1 ball, 1 strike, and maybe go over the signs as well with a runner at second.
I just think they want to get on the same page. You know, Fielder's the kind of guy that can, you know, make a difference with one swing of the bat. Now you bring in Eckstein, so they probably are switching off the signs. Sometimes catcher will think that that runner out of second base may be giving location. Don't do too much of that anymore. The art of stealing signs from the bench is kind of a lost art.
2-1. It was 4-0 at Wrigley Field, and now the Reds have tied it up. It's 4-4.
Oh boy.
That has been a crazy series at Wrigley. The 2-1 pitch. On deck, it's Braun. 3-1 on Fielder. Strike zone has been a little erratic and very tight on both sides. You got to watch out here with Prince Fielder. He could lose one in a hurry. The 3-1 pitch from Wainwright. Outside. Bases loaded. Back-to-back walks, and the bases are loaded for Ryan Braun. And you get the feeling, Al, that the way that this series has gone, even though it's early in this game, this is a crucial at bat in this game.
Yes, you do get that feeling. And the crowd has really been taken out of this series except for the first inning of game 1. With the bases loaded, 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but that's not enough of a statistical analysis to really think anything about it. Very, very tight strike zone.
Braun, his first time up, grounded out to third. Bases loaded. 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Is it too early, you think, Al, to get a book on a young player like this? Guy that's had all kinds of success?
Well, he's like 70+ games, so you're going to get a pretty good read on him. And you know, the one thing you know, he's a young, exceptional hitter. Holds those hands high when he gets through the zone. That's why they're trying to work him in. But a lot of times when you see somebody that, you know, the guy's inability to spot that pitch and they leave it middle half, that's why he's got 23 home runs. And you would think you could run the ball up and in on him. But with this strike zone, if you miss, it's a ball.
Cardinals with a lead of 1-0. Home run by Molina. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
A lot of times when a guy hits for such a high average, you got to believe he's got pretty good breaking ball hitter too.
Time called.
His foot back there.
2-2 pitch. Curveball misses inside, almost hit Braun, and now with the bases loaded, a 3-2 pitch upcoming from Wainwright. And the fans here at Miller Park on their feet. Bases loaded. The runners go. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball. Tap foul. Runner on third. Gabe Gross is closer to the Cardinals dugout, it looks like, than the line at third.
He doesn't want to be running into a line drive in the face, so he's very, very cautious.
And we'll do it again on 3-2. His time is called by Braun.
Now Nick Leyva has to move so Gross can take his lead in the batter's in the third base coach's box.
More conversations with Molina and this pitching staff than any other pitching staff in this league. Right or wrong, it's just the way it's been.
And some pitchers appreciate that, others don't. I think they know Yadi's trying to help them, and I would think young guys like Wainwright, it would be a plus.
It's as loud as this crowd has been in the 3 games. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball, got him! Struck him out with the bases loaded. A 3-2 breaking ball from Wainwright. And Braun is caught looking. And that ends the third. A strikeout with the bases loaded of Braun, and Wainwright gets out of this jam. Nasty. 1-0 Cardinals. Top of the fourth rolls in. Count of 2 balls and no strikes on Edmonds after the strikeout of Braun with the bases loaded. 1-0 Cardinals. That pitch was reminiscent of Game 7 of the National League Championship Series.
Oh yeah. The old hammer freezing a hitter. That was Beltron.
Flat out nasty. Takes some guts to throw that pitch that point in the game too. In the air out to left, that'll stay in the ballpark. Jenkins backs up near the track and makes the catch. Back to Wainwright and Braun, and let's go pitch by pitch in that at bat and show you how it unfolded. Brought to you by Chevrolet.
Fastball inside for ball 1. Then a little cutter. Fastball again. Tried that breaking ball, the cutter. There's the curveball. Misses. Curveball fouled off. Curveball for strike 3. He threw 3 consecutive curveballs on 3-2.
And this is Scott Rowland off the side wall, on his way, digging for 2. They may get him. Throw to second, safe. Heads up slide by Rowland to the outside portion of the bag. Throw looked to beat him, but the tag was not there. And a good slide by Rowland and a 1-out double.
Jeff Jenkins played that sidewall perfectly, and Scott had committed himself to going to second base, so it was going to be a close play. Dylan, you see, comes to the inside part, and as you said, Scott Rowland goes to the outfield side of second, and just ahead of the tag.
And now it's Duncan. Slowly hit to short. J.J. Hardy backhands, fires to first. Low throw to fielder. And there are 2 outs. So it's up to Yadier Molina, who is homered. And in this spot, Dave Bush, if he doesn't want to be dealing with Molina, he could deal with the pitcher spot, who is due up next. And that is in the 8th spot once again for Tony La Russa in this lineup. First base open.
As a pitcher, you very rarely do you really want to, put a guy on. And a lot of it may dictate what happens after a couple pitches. If you fall behind, then you elect to go passing. But you still have to believe that you can get out Molina, and then you have, for the 3rd out of the inning, then you have Wainwright, 1 leg up the next inning. If, in an effort to try and get Molina to hit your pitch, you fall behind, then the manager can elect to walk.
It's tap foul off the bat of Yadier. 1 ball, 1 strike. His home run, his second on the season. The other home run that he had was back at Busch Stadium, almost landed in Big Mac land off of his former teammate Jason Marquis. One pitch, up and in, 2-1. And Jason Marquis is pitching for Chicago this afternoon. They are the third inning at Wrigley Field, 4-4, Cincinnati and Chicago. Molina hits it down the right field line, but out of play.
Cincinnati was coming into Milwaukee after that game in Chicago. And then the Milwaukee Ball Club goes on the road. They got an 11-game road trip, 9 games. They got 2 off days during that time. And Ned Yost's ball club is 13 games under 500 on the road this year.
They've got Arizona, San Francisco, and Chicago. 10 games.
10 games?
Yeah.
10 games, 11 days.
Yep. And the Cardinals, after their 4-game trip to Chicago, there is a lot of home baseball coming up. The schedule is conducive for the Cardinals to put some wins together because of the fact that they will be at home. They've got Florida and Atlanta, 6 games, then go on the road for only 3 at Houston, then come home for 7.
Cardinals now 3 games over 500 at home.
And Molina cranks one out to deep left field. His second home run in this game. A 2-run shot. It's the Yadier Molina show here in Milwaukee. 3-0 Cardinals. Second home run of the day.
Dan, I was looking at Molina when in the clubhouse when we arrived on the bus, and he was already there, and he looked like he was asleep. And multi-home run day for him. Now you really feel dumb with 2 outs that you allow Molina to hit a 2-run home run with a pitcher on deck. And there was that pitch inside where, you know, hitters just drop the bat head, and you know, you don't get it far enough in, they've got a chance to hit the ball out to the shortest part of the field.
Could see the reaction of Dave Busch. He knew it. How can I give up a home run to this guy with 2 outs, first base open, and the pitcher on deck?
Well, that's where you got to be smart, you know. Busch has allowed 21 home runs this year.
Wainwright strikes out. That ends the top of the 4th. Molina, a couple of home runs. 3-0 St. Louis. First career multi-home run game for Yadier Molina. A couple of no-doubters out to left. Home runs number 2 and 3. And we start with the 2nd inning and the first home run, a solo shot. And this with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. That made it 1-0 Cardinals. Then with 2 outs again, first base open, pitcher on deck. Molina unloads, goes down and gets it. Second of the day, and the Cardinals have a 3-run lead. Way to go, Yadier Molina. Cardinals have out-hit the Brewers 4-2, lead at 3-0. Wainwright back to work. Biggest pitch in this game, the last one that he threw. With the bases loaded, Ryan Braun, a 3-2 pitch and frozen with a breaking ball. Jenkins has flied to center. He is 0 for 1.
Good to see Jenkins playing every day now. And 280 average coming in, 279 now after his fly out to center field. 18 home runs, 51. His home run last night put him in sole position of 2nd place on the all-time home run list for the Brewers.
The 1-1 pitch. Email from John Stivers watching on MLB.com from South Carolina. Guys, what do you think about any kind of waiver transaction that the Cardinals may make now that they're back in the race? And that is a good question on FoxSports.com from John Stivers, because if the Cardinals, Al, let's just say they would have been swept in this series and lose 3 of 4 against Chicago, certainly you're out of the race. Now you're right back in it. They have a chance to be within 2.5 games if they can hold on for a game today going into Chicago. If there are players out there, instead of selling, you become a buyer instantly.
I think that's been the mindset all along.
All youth dancers and cheerleaders. 6th annual Team Fredbird Dance Clinic is coming up September 1st. Team Fredbird will teach a one-day dance clinic, and participants will perform on the field prior to the Cardinals-Reds game that night. And that's the night that close to 5,000 seats remain. 345-9413. 345-9413 for your tickets. But now it becomes a little easier to define where you're at in this race.
Well, yeah, and as you said, you know, we'll know a little bit better after the Chicago series. But what position are you looking for?
That's the question.
I mean, right now you're pitching, you're getting the best pitching that you've gotten all season long from guys.
A strikeout of Joe Dillon for out number 2. Standings right now coming into play. Cardinals 3.5 games out, and now within 3 of 500, which is always a benchmark for Tony La Russa. Get to 500, then increments of 5 after that.
You can also look at too is you're 2 back in the loss column against the Brewers. You know, the Brewers have played 3 more games than the Cardinals. If Cardinals win this game and Cubs lose, they're tied with them in the loss column.
Rolling off his glove. Gathers it, throws on the run, and he makes another great play. Remarkable again from Scott Rowland. 2 dandies this afternoon.
Both off of Billy Hall.
Robs him twice. Well, the Cardinals have a lead of 3-0 as we move to the top of the 5th, and Bill Hall has been robbed a couple of times by Scott Rowland. This one a line drive that looked like Rowland had it, didn't. That half step cost Billy Hall going down the line.
You can understand when you hit the ball so hard like that and you see a 7-time Gold Glover jump up, you think he's caught it. But once again, if you hustle out of that box, you'll never embarrass yourself and never come up short.
Everything has gone right for the Cardinals, including the kick save by Pinheiro last night, the ball off the glove of Scott Rowland to Eckstein, force play at second, Miles out to right field, and it's caught. But everything has gone right. But maybe the Cardinals were due.
Yeah, Dan, I'm a firm believer in you create your own luck, good or bad. And heads up play, hustling play, good anticipation. You know, good things happen for you. But this team is starting to believe in themselves. Starting to believe that they're going to get that starting pitching. Starting to believe that they're going to get enough run support. Starting to believe that Brendan Ryan is a character. What were they doing in the dugout there?
Smelling salts?
No telling.
2-0 pitch to Eckstein. And David picks up a base hit out to left. You can win a Samsung video sharing phone, a VIP tour of the ballpark, and watch a game from the green seats. It's a last shot of summer sweepstakes in stores at participating AT&T retail stores. First pitch to Ludwig is a strike on the inside corner. 1 for 2 with a single back in the first. He's also popped out to short.
Not the greatest batting average, but he's been a great pinch hitter. Third on the team with his 10 home runs.
Runner goes, throw down to second, not in time. A stolen base for Eckstein. That is an element of this team we have not seen a lot of.
David is 6 for 6 in steals, and that is only the 39th steal of the season, and they've been caught 22 times. So gets a good jump off of Dave Bush, looks in to see if contact is made. High throw. Estrada only throws out about 11% of base runners. Damian Miller, today's catcher, throws out a little less than 20. So if you get that good jump and the pitcher has a slower delivery, go for it.
0-2 pitch upstairs. 1-2 with 1 out, and Albert Pujols on deck. I would figure that the Cardinals over the weekend, with Jason Kendall now behind the plate with the Cubs, they get runners on. They'd like to be aggressive against him.
You would think, but you know, get guys on, and also, you know, you have to get a good enough jump. Kendall pretty much playing every day now too.
Got him 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ludwig out to left. Off the end of the bat, the catch made by Jenkins. And with 2 outs, a runner at second and first base open, here's Albert Pujols. You would figure that after what took place in Molina, even though it's a little different batter on deck in Jim Edmonds, that he would still be very careful. With Molina, it was Wainwright on deck.
Sometimes being careful, you make careless pitches. A manager always has that prerogative to put up the 4 fingers. But both times Molina beat him is when there have been pitches on the inside part of the plate. That's like you know, in Wainwright's last game, you know, they called for an inside fastball in the 9th inning, and he didn't get it in far enough to Looney. And he hit the 2-run home run to beat him.
0-1 pitch to Pujols. That's strike 2. They've gone right at him. The front row right behind Jim Edmonds is his daughter. Turned 14 today. You saw him visiting with the fans in the on deck circle, but happy birthday to his daughter, turning 14 today. Nothing in 2, the count on Albert Pujols. The 1-2 pitch. Albert hits it to Braun, bobbles it, throw to first, and still in time to get Albert. Bottom of the 5th rolls in when we come back. Cardinals on top by 3. International Fight League rocks the ring on FSN with the toughest fighters in mixed martial arts only team fighting competition. This week the showdown ignites with the Anacondas slugging it out with the Silverbacks. The International Fight League tomorrow at 11 on FSN Midwest. One pitch, one out. Caught by Ludwig and right.
Another good jump by Ludwig.
And the defense behind Wainwright has been terrific once again today, as Scott Rowland has come up with a couple of just terrific plays over at third and reminds you just how good he can be. And really this series has reminded you how good he could be. He had a 4-hit night. He's had a home run. He's had the defensive plays. First pitch, a strike to Dave Bush.
You got to believe the veterans on the Cardinals are energized, being back in a pennant race. Jim Edmonds got his batting stroke going better now, and as you said, the all-around game of Scott Rowland has been upgraded. Albert is just always consistent.
Curveball to Bush, misses inside, 1-2.
Adams only allowed 2 hits, a single in the first, a double in the third, then a couple walks, and he had to pitch around that with 2 outs. Got the big 3-2 strikeout of Braun.
Held on to by Molina, and a strikeout for Wainwright. And that's number 6. Let's take a look at the defense from Scott Rowland. And the defense today, a couple of times against Hall. This terrific play from his backside. And then Hall would come up again, as Wainwright would say, wow, as he walked off the mound. Little hesitation by Hall because he thought Rowland initially made the play. He did not, and that hesitation cost him at first. But irregardless, a couple of fine plays from the Cardinal Gold Glove third baseman.
Gabe Gross struck out the first time, and then he hit the double over the head of Jim Edmonds up against the center field wall, and that was the last hit.
Did I tell you that I'm energized as well?
Are you?
Yes. See this team back in the race. Sonic pitch count at 68.
Oh, I thought it was just what Sonic does for you.
Usually it's what the cat does for us when he comes on a road trip. He just brings so much emotion to the table. And apparently he has been shot down in his efforts to have an arm wrestling contest
he
with.
Just can't do anything, can he?
With Bernie.
Well, I just think Joel Goldberg just runs circles around the cat.
A lot of talking.
A lot of talking from the cat. Not much producing, huh?
Nope. Just a lot of talking.
And Joel runs in the sausage race. You know.
A 3-1 pitch. Again out to center. Edmonds back with room and makes the catch on the track. And Gross is 1 for 3. 6th inning coming up. Edmonds, Rowland, and Duncan due up for St. Louis. Win one for the Kids Charity Fund. The Cardinals wins 57 this year, and SunTrust will donate $100 for each Cardinals victory. And that's brought to you by SunTrust. What's interesting about what's happening with the Cardinals leading 3-0, you might remember last year the Cardinals first month and a half, 2 months, they were carried by Albert Pujols, and they played championship type baseball. At least their record indicated that. And this year it's been a reversal. At least as of late, got off to a terrible start. Now they're playing some of their best baseball, if not the best, in the entire season.
And again, it all revolves around starting pitching. Early in the season, the rotation was in shambles. Of late, all of a sudden you're getting quality efforts night after night.
Story of Rick Ankiel, what he has provided to this club. Joel Pinheiro, back-to-back solid starts. Edmonds looks at a strike. Back to Bush, knocked down, and Edmonds is the first out to start the 6th. Jimmy 0 for 3. Scott rolling with a double, a run scored. He's also popped out to third, and the dazzling plays that he has made over at third base defensively. One for 2 on the afternoon. The story today has been Molina. Along with his defense, Roland's defense, Molina a couple of home runs.
And I'll put Wainwright in there too.
Yep. Off the foot of Roland is Wainwright has struck out 6 and allowed just 2 hits.
Where Adam had 8 shutout innings before he gave up the 2-run home run in the 9th for his first complete game, but it was a loss. Now he's followed that up with 5 shutout innings here today on just 2 hits.
Find the seats out of play. One and 2 the count on the Cardinal third baseman. Rolling out to center. Hall is back on the track and makes the catch. Roland starting to drive the baseball a little bit better. This year, when you can't be home to watch the Cardinals on FSN, check out MLB.tv, and you can log on to the internet to watch every out-of-market Cardinals game live or listen to every radio broadcast live. For more details on MLB.tv, visit STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on.
Let's get Chris Duncan doing something.
Breaking ball and a swing and a miss. Duncan today is lined out to short and grounded out to short.
5 for his last 35. 14 strikeouts during that time. So Chris got that 20 home runs, but he hasn't hit one since July 26th. 19 games, 12 starts, and 48 at bats.
The Cardinals can hold on. They would be 2.5 games out. And the last time that they were 2.5 games out, partner, you have to go back to April 20th. And there's a base hit for Duncan. And stepping in is Yadier Molina with a couple of home runs. Yadier Molina bobblehead down night is September 19th against the Phils. 25,000 fans receive a bobblehead featuring Yadier in his catcher's gear, ready to throw out another base runner. Maybe seeing him do that too. Tickets are still available at STLCardinals.com by calling 345-9000 as well.
That's more offensive games like today. You might have to take off the catcher's gear and put a bat in his hands. As his first multi-homer game, he has all 3 RBIs, solo shot in the 2nd, and a 2-run shot in the 4th. What's he going to do here in the 6th? And all 3 times he comes up with 2 outs. Bush had pitcher on deck on both times, but especially after he hit the first home run and a runner out in scoring position. Scott Rowland was out at second. Threw a pitch down and in, and Yadi just dropped that bat, had lifted, had a lift off, and had his second and third home runs of the day, or excuse me, of the year. 2 home runs today.
Lines it into right, and slipping is the right fielder, drops in for a hit. And Duncan on his way to third. Again, everything going the Cardinals' way. Gabe Gross slipping on that play in right, and Yadier Molina now 3 for 3 with a pair of home runs and a single.
I don't think he would have gotten to it. He plays so deep, but with the slip, they guaranteed that he didn't come in. Just little things like that psychologically, it just keeps on making you think that the baseball gods are against you.
Tap foul past the secret weapon, Jose Oquendo.
Adams 0 for 2, but you know he's very capable of helping himself. Came in as a .262 hitter with 3 doubles, a home run, 5 RBIs. And in his career, he's a .292 hitter.
Runners at first and third with 2 outs. 0-2 on Wainwright.
Dave Bush struck him out on a similar pitch in the 4th. But you know, if he hangs one, what he can do with it.
And a strikeout of Adam. 0 for 3 today. The Cardinals strand 2. They have stranded 5. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Redbirds on top 3-0. Bottom of the 6th rolls in here in Milwaukee, and the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. Adam Wainwright has allowed just 2 hits. He has also struck out 6 on the day. And here's the first strikeout, our Hardy's hot pitch. That really set the tone, Al. That's Gabe Gross striking out back in the 1st.
He's just gone out there. He's only allowed 4 base runners, and 3 were in the 3rd inning. So he's shut down 7 in a row. He just really, from the 4th hitter on, nobody has reached base. And as you said, 6 strikeouts.
And arguably his biggest strikeout was the 3-2 pitch with the bases loaded back in the 3rd of Ryan Braun.
I don't think you have an argument.
I don't think so either. Cubs with a 5-4 lead now in the 5th over Cincinnati. Cardinals leading 3-0 in this game. And the first pitch to J.J. Hardy to start the bottom of the 6th is a strike. Hardy's been aboard a couple of times. A single in the 1st inning, and he walked. That's pulled foul. Hardy, then Prince Fielder, and Ryan Braun.
Threw 121 pitches in his complete game. Loss.
4 pitches this afternoon.
Jammed him. Got in just enough. Backing up Eckstein. And that's the first out. Saturday, join FSN for an in-depth look at the Big 12 Football Conference. We break each team down into 30-minute preview shows, giving you an in-depth look at each university. The Big 12 College Football Preview Series begins Saturday at 4 here on FSN. Prince Fielder. Fielder has walked and flied to left. folks may not understand this, but we transmit back to Houston, and when it gets to Houston, it goes to St. Louis. They're experiencing some poor weather in Houston, so bear with us. Understand some of the pictures and the quality not as good as you're used to, but we'll fix it and make sure you get the best quality that we can make it.
A tropical storm.
Stepped off the mound, went to his mouth. Have to do that or it'd be a ball called.
And that's tap foul again. Brewers have Cincinnati coming to town. The Cardinals will go to Chicago. And the Reds trailing 5-4 at Wrigley.
See a 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the last pitch, but incorporating a lot of cutters. You'll see him throw his bread and butter curveball.
The 3-2 in the dirt and a walk to Fielder. Wainwright has walked 3 and twice he has walked Prince Fielder. Snaps a string of 8 straight he set down. So Ryan Braun last time up with the bases loaded, 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Caught looking on a breaking ball.
34 games at AAA. Braun was hitting .342, 10 home runs, 22 RBIs. So if you put his average right around 340, about what he's hitting, 348, something like that. 33 home runs, 82 RBIs on the season, and 14 steals.
Caught Molina that time. He swipes it away with his glove. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals, when you look at their schedule ahead after Chicago, as we mentioned before, a lot of games at home. Next road trip is only 3 games, and that's to Houston.
And that was the good part of having the poor road record and playing so many road games in the first half. Now that they've righted the ship and playing much better at home, they have that opportunity to just pad that home record and hopefully get a lead, get to 500, get a lead in this division. I think the Brewers are on a pace for only 84 wins, and they're leading the Central Division right now, but for how long?
Lined out of play and foul. Mentioned before, the closest the Cardinals have been to 2.5 games was back on April 20th, and as late as of June 30th, the Cardinals were 10.5 games out.
Last 17 games, the Brewers are 5-12.
1-2 pitch.
Strike zone's been a bit tight, but both teams are dealing with it.
Two. Curveball and a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7.
Second time he's gotten Braun. There you see that good curveball. This time he's swinging at it, but over the top of it.
So 2 outs, and here's Jeff Jenkins. Fly to center and popped out to short.
Jenkins surprised with that strike call.
1-1 the count. Cardinals will have Miles, Eckstein, and Ludwig coming up in the 7th. The shadow of
Tim Edmonds. I was trying to look out there and find somebody that had a shadow, and it was Edmonds.
And another curveball and another strikeout for Wainwright. 8 today. We're through 6. 3-0 St. Louis. Cardinal Baseball on FSM Midwest is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new sirloin burger, 100% sirloin, your choice of cheese and onions only at Jack in the Box. By Chrysler, engineered beautifully. And by US Cellular, we connect with you. Not even close today.
And it's not the cat either, is it?
No.
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 Polish from start to finish in 21+ seconds. Scott Linebrink is throwing in the bullpen behind Dave Bush, the starter.
Oh, 1 pitch to Miles, the 9th place hitter. There's so much confidence out of Polish that even backed into the win.
Sometimes not being smart.
Hyundai Lawn Drive inning. Crystal Rose is today's merchandise winner, the Hyundai Lawn Drive inning sweepstakes. Good luck to Crystal Rose. We had a winner last night. 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, 3-2. Miles lifts it out to left center field. Billy Hall over. First out.
Bush has scattered 7 hits by the Cardinals, but it's the 2 home runs by Yadier Molina that have done him in. And Yadi has 3 hits and 3 RBIs on the day.
Did you try the bratwurst earlier today?
I have not eaten yet today. Busy working.
Wouldn't have known. I didn't see you, so I figured that grabbed a bratwurst. What's David done today? He's got a base hit, stolen base, and hits it high in the air out to left. Near the line is Jenkins in foul territory for out number 2.
interesting to see how far they let Wainwright go today after throwing 121 pitches. Does have 6 shutout innings with only 2 hits and 3 walks allowed, and a new career high of 8 strikeouts. So we'll see how far they go. But pitching some of his best baseball, and you kind of thought that the learning process of that 9th inning home run to lose the ball game, lose his shutout. Braden Looper will be on the mound tomorrow.
Pitch in the dirt. 2 strikes. Graphic here on the starters comparison with Wainwright and Bush. Just 2 hits allowed by Adam.
But how about the 124 pitches for Dave Bush, and still not through the 7th inning.
1-2. 2-2.
Now looks like Brian Schaus has joined Linebrink in the Milwaukee bullpen behind Bush.
Full count. On deck, Albert Pujols. Cardinals picked up home run, a solo shot by Yadier Molina in the 2nd, and a 2-run homer in the 4th, both with 2 outs. And a swing and a miss by Ludwig, and it's time to stretch here in Milwaukee. Midway through 7. 3-0 Cardinals. St. Louis with a lead of 3-0 as we move to the bottom of the 7th. Cardinals about hit Milwaukee 7-2. Joe Dillon, Bill Hall, and Damian Miller. If anybody can reach, then the pitcher spot. They have a base hit the 1st inning from J.J. Hardy and a double back in the 3rd. In the air, out to left. Duncan for the 1st out. What's on tap is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, always worth it. And we head to the Windy City of Chicago, Wrigley Field. The Cubs and the Cardinals, 1st of 4. And we're on the air tomorrow at noon. Braden Looper, 10-9. ERA over 5, making his 23rd start of the season at Wrigley. His day game ERA is 1.84, and he's 6-0 in day games.
Yeah, best in the National League. So it's a good draw for the Cardinals.
The Cardinals will face Rich Hill. Hill is 6-7.
Ryan Franklin is now throwing in the Cardinal bullpen, so kind of thought they'll keep a close eye on Adam. After he threw 121 pitches last time out, he's 95 down.
Lazy fly ball to Edmonds, 2 away.
So he gets through this 7th inning. I think you can say his work is done, and with exceptional.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. First strike to Damian Miller. 0-1 pitch by Wainwright. We talked about what the Cardinals are feeling right now. How about on the other side for Ned Yost? Lead is evaporating quickly here in the Central. Their team is not playing good baseball. Edmonds coming on, and they're on the verge of being swept by the Cardinals. Still a ways to go, though. 8th inning coming up, 3-0 St. Louis. Adam Wainwright is just below 100 pitches. He's at 98. So I'm getting a lot of high fives. You have to wonder if this is going to be it for him. New pitcher is in for Milwaukee. Scott Linebrink, picked up from San Diego. 52nd appearance. Our call to the bullpen brought to you by Chevrolet. A lot of people were surprised that Linebrink was traded away from the Padres. He was a valuable setup man to get to Trevor Hoffman with the Padres, a free agent to be. A lot of people were curious as far as the moves that they made. On Big Fox, this will be Saturday, the Cardinals and the Cubs. Fox Saturday Baseball. That will be at 2:30 Central. And that game presented in high definition. 2:30 Central, the Cardinals and the Cubs. We're in the 8th, 3-0 Cardinals. First pitch to Albert Pujols. Pujols hitless today, 0 for 3. 5 for 10 with a home run against Linebrink. Who wears number 71 now. Breaking ball chopped in the dirt to J.J. Hardy.
He wears that 71 in honor of the bullpen catcher for Milwaukee, who is currently battling a brain tumor. So first wore 40 in his first 2 games. This is 8th appearance since coming to the Brewers. He's 1-0 with a 1.29 ERA. Acquired on July 25th from San Diego. He's been a very reliable guy, averaging about 73 games the last 3 years for San Diego and being an outstanding setup man.
3-run lead for the Cardinals, and Pujols and Edmonds have been quiet this afternoon at the plate. Edmonds has struck out. He's flied out to left and grounded back to the pitcher. Some insurance would be nice. Scott Rowland is on deck.
It's also nice to see the Cardinals with a lead without the contributions all the time from the MVP3.
Edmonds looks it to left. Jeff Jenkins has been busy today. In front of the track, and makes the catch for the second out. Scott Rowland doubled and scored back in the 4th. He's popped out to third. Fly to center, but he has made some dazzling plays in the field. Cubs in the 7th, leading Cincinnati 5-4.
Jason Marquis still on the mound.
No double switch for Ned Yost, so Linebrink's spot is due up first in the bottom of the 8th. So in this series, the Cardinals avoid Jeff Suppan, and in the Chicago series, they will not see Jason Marquis, 2 former teammates.
Yeah, and both of them have pitched well and beat the Cardinals this season.
2-1. Slowly hit to third. Braun charges, throws on the run high, but the tag is there by Fielder. A pinch hitter, then the top of the lineup coming up for Milwaukee. Cardinals on top by 3.
Welcome back as Ryan Franklin will take over. He's going to have the 8th inning after 7 brilliant innings by Adam Wainwright. 7 shutout innings on 2 hits, 3 walks, a career high 8 strikeouts for Adam, in line for his 11th victory if the bullpen can hold him. Ryan Franklin has 21 holds to lead the ball club. Opponents have hit just 119 against him when he's behind in the count. And he has, last pitch was on Saturday. He'll face the pinch hitter, Craig Counsell. Counsell 5 for 22 as a pinch hitter. His second stint with Milwaukee. He is from Milwaukee and only 5 hits in his last 40 at bats. Off speed pitch. Evens the count 1-1. Counsell, one of those veteran guys that was on the World Championship teams of Florida and also Arizona. Does not go around. So
Al, if you are Milwaukee, you finally get a good start, and now you can't get runs.
right. Well, that's part of the equation, you know, putting everything together.
Little tapper, and Franklin pounces on it. Underhands to Pujols for the first out. And Dios is trying to figure something out to get it going back in the right direction. 1 point, an 8-game lead.
I asked Nick Leva, I said, how often does he talk with Bobby Cox? He was the bullpen catcher for the Braves for many years, and Nick said he probably calls him, you know, at least 2 times a week, and that's a pretty good sounding board. Nick used to call Whitey Herzog a lot when he was managing.
Well, Bobby's got all kinds of time on his hands, even during his own games.
Yeah, because sometimes he gets ejected back-to-back games. The all-time leader. Didn't take him long to set a new record, did it?
Did not at all. The next day. We were concerned on the previous road trip about Franklin being overused a little bit, but recently that hasn't been a problem.
You know, when you get into a stage where you kind of need a couple days off, and he was able to get that time off, kind of just recharge the battery, and you know, he won 4 straight games. And then on the road trip he lost on Friday and Sunday in Washington, and it was just obvious that he just needed a little bit of a break. Stuff was a bit short, but he's okay now. That's why we said that, you know, times we'd like to see him use Percival a little bit more to kind of have a little bit of a breather for Springer and Franklin. That got, I don't think Yadi got a glove on it, got the right leg of the home plate umpire around the ankle. They wear shin guards too, and I think he's very appreciative that he had that.
There's a base hit up the middle, and the first hit for Milwaukee since the 3rd. Gabe Gross has hit the ball hard today.
He struck out the first time, then the double over the head of Edmonds up against the center field wall. Then he hit the ball sharply out to center field again. And then an off-speed pitch. And not fooled. Gross was just called up yesterday. He was supposed to be in there. He throws a splitter and it just kind of sat there. It didn't dive down and just kind of slid across the zone.
J.J. Hardy is singled, walked, and popped out to short. First pitch, a strike. Nothing straight, though. When you see the pitch coming out of the hands from Franklin, he's got a ton of movement.
He had one splitter that was real straight.
Bonds deposited that.
Yeah.
McCovey Cove. A broken bat, and wisely Miles lets it drop just to make sure that Hardy is hustling down the line. We saw Ronnie Belliard do that against the Cardinals just a couple of weeks ago. David Eckstein, though, had to pay the price for that.
Laid back there, and then, you know, with that backhanded shovel pass, that'll get that runner on top of Eckstein. And there was nothing illegal or unnecessary in that slide out there. And David, the way the infielders protect themselves, they go up and they usually come down on the ground, but it's a mechanism to protect themselves from being hit.
One-oh pitch to Fielder. Ooh, tough pitch to take.
Absolutely. But seeing a relatively small strike zone all afternoon.
The 2-1. Cardinals with a run in the second on a solo home run by Yadier Molina, 2 in the fourth. They lead it 3-0. Count of 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner at first. And a swing and a miss sends us to the 9th. Fielder strikes out. Good work by Ryan Franklin. Isringhausen will start getting loose in the bullpen. The splitter down.
Split finger signal.
Brain Looper against Rich Hill tomorrow. That's game 1 of a 4-game series. The Cardinals and the Cubs on FSN Midwest. And we come your way with the pregame show at noon. The Cardinals and the Cubs tomorrow on FSN Midwest. Cubs leading in the 7th, 5-4. At Wrigley, we head to the 9th. Former closer, now their setup man is Derek Turnbow. 59th appearance on the year, a record of 3-4.
He's not allowed a run or a hit in his last 6 appearances. Check this out. In the 5 games in which he suffered a loss or a blown save, he has a 47.25 ERA. But a 1.43 ERA in his other 53 appearances of the season. Opponents only batting .185 against him and 68 strikeouts in just 53 innings. But when he's on, he is very, very tough.
And a swing and a miss by Duncan to start the 9th.
Percival thinks when he sees guys like Matt Wise and Turnbow and Bobby Jenks that couldn't make the Angels and basically weren't even traded away. They were picked up on waivers.
Last pitch at 97, and like you're saying, you know, you can't teach that.
Yeah, how do you know? I mean, they made the evaluation, said, well, they couldn't be late inning guys, but you're serviceable.
He's got to run, and he will advance as that trickles into the dugout. And initially, Duncan was saying he foul tipped it, but then he realized, I think, hey, that might get into the dugout.
Well, Molina was telling him to go. Nobody else was saying he tipped it. So gets by Miller. There you see Chris is standing there. The umpire saying, no, you didn't. And now he finally takes off, and Taguchi will pinch run for Chris Duncan. 3-0 lead, and Tony's ready to bring in Jason Isringhausen, but he's feel a little more comfortable with a little more cushion. How about
on our gun that was at 102.
Well, Prince Fielder, he looks like a backstop over there at first base, but he looked like, hey, back off a little bit. Watch the first baseman.
I don't know if he just lost it or.
Yeah, he might have lost it.
How about this? You've got Molina 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, and you ask him to sacrifice in this spot.
Team player. That's what you ask him to be.
Solo home run in the second, 2-run homer in the fourth, and on the season now with 3.
I don't know, the shadows looks like it's pretty dark at home plate. And that might have been part of what Fielder's seeing as he's getting that throw from his first baseman, is all that sun behind Derek Turnbow. And just beyond the cutout of the infield. See all this out in that area where sunshine brightly.
2-0.
Would they switch off, put the hit and run on? Turnbow is hard to make contact against, but they might just put a straight steal on with Taguchi too.
Rick Ankiel has moved to the on-deck circle, 3-0, and Turnbow can't find the strike zone.
Got to be a little uncomfortable staying in that batter's box when you know this guy is effectively wild.
And that's ball 4. Runners at first and second for Rick Ankiel. Mike Maddox out to visit. Some insurance would be nice.
Ask Ankiel to swing, or you ask him to bunt?
I'd like to see him swing.
I'm not sure. I mean, as a pitcher, you know, he did that a lot, but I'm sure you're putting him up here to swing. Trying to get an insurance run, though, why not bunt?
Even on the road, Rick gets a nice round of applause. These fans know what he's been through. Introduced to the folks here in Milwaukee.
I don't know if Rick knows take one.
There's your answer. That pitch at 81 miles an hour.
got that splitter and then got the high octane fastball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Miles on deck. Another splitter that missed outside.
Well, I definitely believe that Rick is not, can hit the fastball. When you got 97, how are you afraid to throw that?
Trouble locating it.
Well, that works against the hitter too, though. You're not a little bit worried about getting one in the ribs too. Having trouble locating it.
He struck out Duncan, but he advanced as Miller couldn't come up with a 3rd strike. And then it was a walk to Molina. And now Turnbow is on the verge of walking in Keel. 3 balls and a strike.
So 3 splitters and 1 fastball.
And then you have the shortest guy on the team on deck. Strike zone shrinks a little bit more. And Rick can be very selective here. The 3-1 outside, and that's ball 4. Bases loaded for Miles. Cardinals, by the way, are first in the major leagues in pinch hits with 52. And their pinch hitters are hitting 283. And Ned Yost, I'm sure, is just furious right now.
He's got Cordero, his closer, warming up, but could be too late. And this game is on the verge of not being a save opportunity for Izzy, but more importantly, it's on the verge of being a Cardinal victory.
Eckstein on deck, bases loaded, nobody out. Ball 1 to Miles.
Right now, you're out there, a guy's not going to be swinging the bat, and you're still having trouble throwing strikes.
Wouldn't mind seeing Miles just
not
just take 1, take 2.
Well, that's, I would be shocked if he swung at a pitch until he has at least 1 strike. And he swings at a pitch. Very quickly, Prince Fielder went and got sunglasses.
Broken bat, pulled foul. Other half of the bat winding up at second base. Miles gets a new piece of lumber in the hole now with 1 ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. And the base is loaded against Derek Turnbow.
Turnbow is very capable of striking out 4 this inning.
Cardinals overcame an early 3-0 deficit Tuesday night. They won 12-4. It was Pujols rolling in Edmonds going deep. 7 solid innings from Pinheiro last night, 8-3. And a call 3rd strike on Miles as the Redbirds are trying to make it a sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers.
He's got 2 strikeouts now, but only 1 out. And Yost trying to tell his middle infielders go back to double play depth. They were playing in.
We have seen a squeeze play in this series last night.
It's a pretty good combination right here, but
you bet.
Turnbow and Brendan Ryan did an unbelievable job on a high pitch to get the bunt down on a squeeze. This would be another one to be tough. The guy all over the place. A 7-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1.
On deck, it's Ludwig. A pitch in the dirt, blocked by Miller. 1 ball, 1 strike. Milwaukee is thinking the same thing. They could pitch out, but the problem is, for a guy that's having control problems, you give away a pitch. You fall behind in the count if they guess wrong.
And would Miller be able to catch it?
That's the most important part of it. The 1-1 lined into the seats.
Everybody okay?
Bases loaded and a 1-2 pitch. Eckstein drills it down the left field line. That's trouble. One hops off the wall. One run in. Here comes another. They're going to try to clear the bases. Relay to the plate. Not in time, and his hand sneaks in there as Miller dropped the ball. All 3 runs score. Eckstein delivers, clears him, 6-0 St. Louis.
It looked like Rick Ankiel got stuck a little bit short, and they'd had him nailed at the plate, but Miller drops the ball, and then he just reaches in with his hand and touches home plate after the fact. Molina scores, and look at here. See how he stops right there? His hand went right into the left shoe of Miller, but when he drops the ball, all of a sudden now Rick reaches through, and he's safe. So 3 RBIs for Eckstein. Probably a double, goes to third on the throw.
Infield drawn in, and ball 1 to Ludwig with Pujols on deck. Ankiel drew the walk and now comes around to score in a huge bases clearing double by David Eckstein. Now at 24 RBIs.
David is one of the guys that can turn on a fastball better than most on this club. Got a 6-0 lead. Might as well go ahead and make it 7, if not more.
The Cardinals can hold on. Amazingly, they are within 2.5 games.
Cubbies have a 2-run lead now over Cincinnati, 6-4, with the Cubs batting in the 7th. They'd be a half a game behind Milwaukee. And the big showdown between the rivals, Cardinals and Cubs, starting tomorrow and play 4.
Ball 4. 3 walks in the inning, and that's going to be it. You're going to hear some boos for Derek Turnbull when he exits to the Brewers dugout. Well, the Brewers didn't want to bring in their closer trailing 6-0, but that's what they've had to do here with Francisco Cordero coming in. He's had a good year. 36 saves and 42 opportunities, and the Cardinals have a lead of 6-0.
It's tied for the major league lead with those 36 saves with Arizona's Valverde. And boy, you get the pleasure of facing Albert Pujols. Runners at first and third, 1 out. How about this about the Milwaukee closer? And it really tells you why they're 13 games under 500 and the best. They're 13 games under 500 on the road and the best home record in the National League. Cordova's ERA is 0.58 at home, and on the road it's 7.64.
Cardinals have now outscored the Brewers in this series 26-7.
In convincing fashion.
blowout in the first game, 12-4. 8-3 last night, on the verge of shutting them out in game 3. Now that is sending a statement. Pujols has been quiet today, 0 for 4. In the air to right center. Sliding catch attempt, no good. Force play at second, not in time. A run will score. That is Eckstein. RBI for Albert. 7-0 St. Louis.
There's one of those situations where Edmonds gobbles that ball up with his on his feet, but most center fielders play so deep they don't get to this ball, and never did have a chance to catch it. Ludwig really was in no man's land. He had a tough time reading whether that ball got down or was caught, so he had to scramble to get to second.
Edmonds, the 8th man to come to the plate here in the 9th. And Jimmy pops it up. Here's what we're talking about. Runs scored this series. Add another one to it. 27-7 now. 12-4, 8-3, and 7-0 today.
And Dan, I'm not too sure, but I think maybe all 7 runs were scored because of home runs.
You might be right. I think in game 1.
And that's one of the problems with this Milwaukee Brewers club is they, you know, as Brendan Ryan now will pinch hit. But, you know, they are so dependent on the long ball, and that's fine if you're getting home runs. But if you're not getting them, you don't score.
Brendan Ryan, first time up today. Looks at a strike.
Brendan's been good when he starts a game, and just 2 for 9 when he comes off the bench. And 338 overall, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. 24 hits and 71 at bats. Remember, this inning started with the strikeout of Duncan, but he reached base on the wild pitch.
One ball and 2 strikes on Brendan Ryan. Bounced in the dirt. The Brewers looking ahead to the bottom of this inning will have Braun, Jenkins, and Dillon.
Looks like Percival instead of Isringhausen will close it out now that it's no longer a save situation, and Izzy was very good last night in the final 2 outs, both of them by a strikeout. There you see Troy.
Shallow left. Oh my goodness, and it drops in 8-0, and more boos coming in. A double for Brendan Ryan. Cardinals lead it 8-0. A misplay out and left, and Ned Yost cannot believe it.
Well, I mean, why Jenkins didn't get anywhere near that ball, and then he got shied away from his shortstop going out.
He's got to keep coming in.
Wow, I mean,
it's like a routine fly ball.
I mean, I couldn't believe that nobody was underneath it. You know, and that shortstop goes out until he's called off. That, I mean, you know, where was Jenkins? And then he just kind of ran on by it.
This team is self-destructing right now.
Well, no other way to put it after
Yeah.
that play. I don't want to say that, but
it is what it is.
Yeah. Gucci went into pinch run. He gets his first plate.
Reaction of Ned Yost.
It's the inside reaction. That stomach is boiling, but Try not to show too much.
One of the things that he has to stress, though, I'm sure, to his team, Al, is look, we got beat up in this series, but you've put yourselves in a position where you're still on top. Think of it in those terms.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, you played so well for 100+ games. Don't, you know, let it slip away right now. And really, what he's experiencing, and it wasn't so much the case in today's ball game, but Cardinals for the first 100+ games, you know, they didn't have the consistent starting pitching. His last 17 games, that's what's happened to his starters. And this bullpen was one of the best in baseball the first part of the season, has struggled of late too.
Taguchi into shallow right, and that's going to be caught. The Cardinals put up a 5-run top of the ninth and lead this one 8-0 on the verge of a sweep in Milwaukee. Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Bud.tv, where entertainment is always on and only at www.bud.tv. By Chevrolet, meet the all-new Silverado 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. See for yourself, shop and compare at stlchevy.com. And by Advance Auto Parts, providing car care. Know how to protect your investment. We're ready in advance. Cardinal fans having some fun here in Milwaukee. 8-0 St. Louis here in the bottom of the ninth. Isringhausen was up and throwing, but then the Cardinals picked up 5 runs, non-save situation, so get him out. He pitched in the ball game last night. Percival is in his 18th appearance. Good numbers, a record of 2-0.
4-time All-Star. It's his 623rd career game. 32-41 mark. ERA just over 3. And 324 career saves.
Back on June 23rd, an 8.5 game lead for the Milwaukee Brewers. Cardinals will return here the final week of the season. And maybe the key of this ball game was with the bases loaded back in the third for Ryan Braun. With 3-2 the count, a called third strike and a breaking ball reminiscent of the curveball Wainwright threw to Carlos Beltran in last year's postseason. The right field corner slicing and foul. Not by much. One and 2 the count. Looking ahead at the matchups this weekend, Looper and Rich Hill tomorrow on FSN. Anthony Reyes, Sean Marshall. Fox Saturday game of the week. Sunday night baseball, Kip Wells and Carlos Zambrano. And Joel Pinheiro back-to-back good starts against Ted Lilly on Monday. Oh.
Oh, slipped. Effectively wild. I throw a breaking ball and didn't yank it down.
Ludwig on the move near the line and out of play.
Ankil's out in center field and Taguchi out in left.
Brendan Ryan over at third. Two-two pitch to Braun. And a strikeout for Percival. Braun touched Percival for a home run earlier in this series. Gets him this time with a strikeout.
So his spanned at least 12 in his last 13 outings. And at least one batter in 12 of his last 13 outings. 17 total.
First pitch to Jenkins.
Strike one.
Curveball hit out to center field and keel over. 2 outs. And it's up to Joe Dillon to extend this game. Dillon today has flied out, struck out swinging, and flied out again.
A utility type player, they put him in there, sacrifice defense for offense. And Milwaukee got neither. Didn't play a good defensive game and on the verge of being shut out on just 3 hits.
Up the middle, and this game is extended.
Shut out on 4 hits.
April 20th was the last time the Cardinals were this close in the Central. 2.5 games out, and a reason why: the pitching of Braden Looper, who was fantastic that afternoon. 7 innings, 5 hits, and 1 earned run. Cardinals would defeat the Cubs that afternoon, and they'd be 2.5 games out.
And they won that game 2-1.
Ted Lilly made the start for the Chicago Cubs, gave up a home run to Preston Wilson that afternoon.
Late in the game, and
that was the difference.
Billy Hall got robbed twice by Scott Rowland, the first 2 times up. 0 for 3.
One ball, 1 strike.
They're giving free bag to Dillon, the runner at first base, but so far he hasn't took it.
So many storylines in this game from Molina with his unexpected power. Great pitching of Wainwright. He's on the verge of his 11th win. The defense of Scott Rowland today. All adds up for Tony La Russa to what could be an 8-0 shutout and a sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Cubbies have broken the game open against Cincinnati. It's 12-4 now. So they'll be a half game behind Milwaukee, waiting for the Redbirds to come to town.
One-two pitch. Oh. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. The Cardinals come to Milwaukee and sweep the Brewers. 2.5 games out. 2 games below 500 now. 8-0 the final. And Chicago, here we come. Budweiser Player of the Game is coming up next. Well, the Cardinals have a sweep, 8-0 over the Milwaukee Brewers, as Wainwright picks up the win. He's now 11-9. Bush, the loss. He's now at 500. That's Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. What a way to start this road trip. 4 now coming up with the Chicago Cubs. Adam Wainwright was terrific this afternoon. And how about Yadier Molina on base 4 times, and he provided all the spark early on.
Absolutely. He gets a home run his first time up. That gave the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. And you felt pretty good about that, the way Wainwright was pitching. But what a surprise his second time up, as he has his first career multi-home run game. Another pitch down and in. This one's a 2-run shot, so he had 3 RBIs, and it was a 3-0 game until the 9th inning, when the Cardinals get 5 more runs and make it an 8-0 shutout. Great pitching, timely hitting by Molina. It's kind of a sloppy defense from Milwaukee, great defense from the Cardinals.
When you think about the second home run too, it was a mental mistake as well, because you had a runner at second base and roll in, first base open, pitcher on deck and 2 outs. You can pitch around Molina and deal with Wainwright.
And Dan, so often I see guys make mistakes on the inner half of the plate. When you're in a situation like that, you know, pitch away, because you're trying to make these perfect pitches. We know guys don't have that kind of command, especially inside, so they leave the ball in the middle part of the plate. It's the shortest part to hit it out of the ballpark, and you can get away with more mistakes away than you can inside.
So big win for the Cardinals. They pick up a sweep here in Milwaukee, and Pat, 8-0, our final here in game number 3. Let's send it to you.
Guys, we appreciate it. We'll see you in just a few minutes. The game is over, the sweep is complete, but things are just getting started right here on Budweiser Cardinals Live. Coming up, on the anniversary of his passing, we'll honor Elvis, Cardinals style. And with the Cards heating up, the rest of the NL Central is all shook up. But by week's end, will the Cardinals be in Heartbreak Hotel? It's now or never. And I can't help falling in love with Budweiser Cardinals Live. Coming up next.
Welcome to Cardinals Live, presented by Budweiser.
Welcome once again inside our FSN Midwest studio in St. Louis for the post-game edition of Budweiser Cardinals Live. I'm Pat Paris. I'll be joined shortly by former Cardinal pitcher Rick Horton. Plenty to discuss with him. We'll bring you Tony La Russa's comments as we go all access inside the visiting clubhouse in Milwaukee. Plus, we'll look around at the life of Elvis Presley in relationship to this 2007 Cardinals squad. Plus, we might have a Ferris Bueller reference for you as well. But first, Jim Hayes on the field at Miller Park, standing by with Yadier Molina, the 2-home run guy, our Mid-America Chevrolet Dealers player of the game. Cat.
Yadier Molina with 3 hits today, including 2 home runs. Yadi, you came into this series knowing it was a big one, possibly make or break, and you sweep the Brewers. Couldn't ask for more than that.
That's right. We come here ready to go. We know that we had to win 3 games in a row, try to sweep them, and we did it. We play a good baseball here. Hopefully we can continue in Chicago doing the same thing.
7 shutout innings for Adam Wainwright, a career-high 8 strikeouts. How good was he today?
He did a great job for us keeping in the game, missing the ball down, away, down and in, throw that big hook. He did a great job for us.
Dave Bush, career, you're 4 for 7, including the 2 home runs today. Why is that a good matchup for you?
I don't know. I just trying to see, wait for my pitch and trying to make a good swing. I don't know why is that. I don't have no reason for it, but I just trying to make a good swing. I got two good swings today, 3 good swings, so I'm happy for that.
Whatever the reason, you'll take it. Yadi, thanks.
Thank you.
Guys, Yadier Molina, let's go back to you.
Jim, thanks very much. Time for a view from the booth. Ours is not to question why, just enjoy the ride, guys. 5 in a row, and now they are really on the heels, 2.5 games behind the Brewers. Let's go to Dan and Al at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Gentlemen?
And what's interesting, Pat, is that Tony always talks about getting back to the 500 mark, and then once you get above 500, look at increments of 5. So they're 2 games below 500, but 2.5 games out now in the Central Division. Milwaukee undoubtedly is reeling, and the Cardinals come in and really put a thumping on the Brewers.
Well, the Cardinals did what they have to do, and it's still not over yet, because right now the Cubbies are a half game behind Milwaukee. So, the Cardinals are going to have a lot to say, whether the Cubs get into first place or Milwaukee still has a lead, or if the Cardinals can take over, because I think the way Cincinnati's playing, they may come in here and surprise Milwaukee also.
Pitching one of the stories today, no doubt, with Adam Wainwright. He was terrific. 7 innings for Wainwright, coming off a complete game loss on Friday, and it's 7 innings, only 2 hits allowed, and he strikes out 8.
But it really had a drama set up, and with the Ryan Braun at bat. Their bases are loaded, there's 2 outs, and it's a 3-0 game. It starts with a fastball inside, then a little cutter out there. Then he comes back with fouls that pitch off, down and in. Then he misses with a breaking ball away. Then another breaking ball makes it 3-2. And he fouls off a 3-2 curveball, and then he gets him on a 3-2 curveball to end the inning and keep it a 3-0 game. So there was the game right there for as far as Milwaukee. They had a chance to take the lead or get closer, and they didn't do it.
Overshadowed a bit. A couple of great defensive plays, too, from Scott Rowland.
Yeah, Billy Hall will know how good Scott Rowland is, as he robbed him twice. The 7-time Gold Glover, Scott Rowland, played a good game. And, you know, this is what they need to do. They need to play complete games all the way through.
And, Pat, the Cardinals come in offensively and score 28 runs in the 3 games, and we'll preview the big series coming up with Chicago later in the show. That's it for now. Let's send it back to you.
Looking forward to it, gentlemen. See you in just a little bit here on Cardinals Live. Let's take a look now at some of the highlights, and some were mentioned and shown, but worth watching again. Top of the second, 2 outs, and Yadier Molina delivers left field solo shot, first homer since April 27th. Cards up 1-0 off Dave Bush. Bottom of the second, Cards flashing in the leather. Yeah, Bill Hall thinks he might have extra bases, but Scott Rowland from the seat of his pants gets him out to preserve the 1-0 lead. Bottom of the Brewers threatening with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and that's at Ryan Braun at bat, frozen by the nasty hook, remains 1-0. Top of the 4th, runner on second, 2 outs, and so perhaps you walk Yadier Molina, but Molina takes Bush deep and gone. 2-run shot this time. Cards lead 3-0. Molina's first career multi-homer game. They add 5 in the bottom of the 9th to make this one a no-doubter, and the Cardinals sweep away the first-place Brewers 8-0. Adam Wainwright, outstanding. We'll talk about that with Rick here in a moment, but the offensive hero has to be Yadier Molina, but it was a well-rounded game, pitching, defense, offensively, and it's the Milwaukee Brewers that end up this Thursday afternoon reeling after the Cardinals come in, sweep them away, close to within 2.5. The Cubs are winning, so that'll likely go down to a half a game over the second-place Cubs, and the Cardinals head into Wrigley Field for a 4-game set starting tomorrow. And this is one of those really entertaining, enjoyable afternoons if you're a Cardinal fan, and certainly we're enjoying the run that they're on, something I don't think any of us would have thought of even as late as a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I think what we've especially found out today, it is officially a 3-team race. I mean, there was a time where we said, well, are they in, are they not? I think we know they're in now.
They're in now, and we were kind of kidding around. Which teams feel like they're actually in the race? It may be the Cubs and the Cardinals right now, and the Brewers might be thinking, yeah, we're still in first place, aren't we? And checking the standings on a almost minute-by-minute basis.
Well, I'm sure the Cubs are thinking a lot about the Cardinals because they're the hottest team in the division right now. And the Cardinals have been the team all year long that's actually played best within the division. Milwaukee's been great at home. The Cubs have had streaks, but the Cardinals have been better within the division, and that's why they still have a chance, beating teams like Milwaukee and Chicago often enough. So we do have this three-team race.
29-20 now within the division are the Cardinals, and that is easily the best in the division. Right now we're going to talk about our Helitech King of the Hill, and this is about as no doubt as you get. Adam Wainwright was outstanding.
We got from Adam Wainwright exactly what we were hoping to get from the right-hander. Just a solid performance. He had good stuff today, I thought. He had the good curveball, but he had really the mixture of pitches. He throws the cutter and the changeup. But the curveball, that's a terrible swing right there. That's how you and I would swing if we had to face Adam Wainwright. But he had 8 strikeouts, career high for him, and he was just dominating today. And Dan and Al were right, as he is our king of the hill. The big out was him getting Ryan Braun out with the bases loaded. But look at these numbers. Last 9 starts, 7-2. The ERA 1.60, walk to strikeout ratio phenomenal for Adam Wainwright, and he is getting better and better and better. And that sounds like what we said about him last year about this time.
That's right. That was
different role, but he's peaking at the right time again.
Jack in the Box food for thought there, and he has been outstanding. That's 9 straight quality starts for the starting rotation for the Cardinals, and it's no accident that the Cardinals are winning ball games now that the starting rotation has been outstanding. And by the way, we need to give Dan McLaughlin a lot of credit, because at the time he said this is a key at bat. Ryan Braun struck out, and he was absolutely right.
And we're talking about the third inning of a game.
Yeah, the third inning of a game.
But you could feel that.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about a team that was down and perhaps out for the count, and they've got their best hitter up, bases loaded, and Wainwright took care of business.
When we return on Budweiser Cardinals Live, you're going to hear from the Cardinals inside their clubhouse. We'll go all access and hunk and burn of glove talking defense. Stick around.
Well, it was a big situation. I just didn't want to give in. You know, he's a guy that can really hurt you if you do. And you know, I was fine with just trying to be. Just trying to throw all pitches to him right there, and you know, 1 run is better than 4. But I was confident I was going to get him out, so I just didn't think of the negative effects of it. I just wanted to be super confident and attack.
Is that a curveball?
Thanks.
When you miss with the 2-2 curveball, come back with 2 more. And that would seem to be some kind of statement by Yadi of confidence, and you of confidence in that pitch. I mean, I know
he's a guy that, yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, like I said, is just so dangerous, and he's hitting 350 for a reason, because he's got, you know, just amazing hands up there. He can do a lot of things. So I just wanted to make him beat me with my best stuff if he was going to do it, and if not, you know, I was going to win. So. Right there in that situation with him up to bat, I gotta, if he's gonna beat me, he's gonna beat me with my best stuff.
With the 8 strikeouts, a career high, is that a sign that your curveball was working, the fastball, or just location or combination?
It's a little of all of that. You know, I was for the most part I was able to locate everything, and I got some fastballs strikeouts and curveball strikeouts, and I don't know if I got any slider strikeouts. I don't know, but. You know, when you got some pitches going that you can locate and work different parts of the zone, then they got a lot of stuff to look for.
In a start like this with so much, you know, going on with you guys chasing them, are you more pumped for a start like this, or is it just interesting?
Well, you know, I've said it a million times. I try to treat every game like it's a World Series. And if you do that, you know, there shouldn't be any ups and downs. You treat every game like the World Series, and when you get to the World Series, it shouldn't be a surprise to you. So hopefully the game in May will be just as important to me as a game in September.
You know, of Rollins play a third and everybody else.
Yeah, that was silly, both of them. But the first play, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a play in the infield as great as that. I mean, that was the dive. It was a full extension, snow cone dive, and he throws it from his seat and gets a guy who runs well out. So, I mean, I just, you know, I try not to show a ton of emotion on the mound, but sometimes you just got to tip your hat and clap, because that was just really, really impressive.
Same deal with Yadier's offensive display today.
Yadier was really big for us today. He had a tough pitcher today, and Bush is a good pitcher, and he pitched a great game actually. And Yadier's proved in the past that he can, in big games, he comes through in the clutch. So today he had another big game for us.
What was the reaction like from the dugout?
Apparently the Cardinals didn't get the word that we're honoring Elvis Presley on the 30th anniversary of his death because Johnny Cash is being
Folsom
played.
Prison Blues. They know how to party, don't they?
Right? Is the winning pitcher gets to pick that?
I think the pitcher does.
I think that's
must
the way
be Wainwright music there.
Let's talk a little bit about Wainwright. I think, you know, with the loss of Chris Carpenter, we always talk about, I think we mentioned last night, you're searching for an ace. You're searching for an ace. He has the physical makeup to be an ace, or at least a top of the rotation kind of guy, but he also has the mental makeup. I mean, this is his first year as a starter in Major League Baseball after relieving and closing at the end of last year. He's really got it. I mean, you listen to him, he really understands it.
He really does, and the thing, to me, the next step for Adam Wainwright is to believe that he can go out there and do that every single night. You know, he's got the stuff. There's no question about it. He's a very humble guy. He hates to step out and kind of step on anybody's toes, but at some point, you know, in baseball, you're a rookie, and then you turn around and you're a veteran, and I don't know how that happens, but it just happens very quickly, and very soon, I think we're going to see Adam Wainwright maybe be a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little stronger in his comments, and be a guy guy that exudes that confidence even more. He certainly has it on the mound, but I think he needs to maybe get that to another level, and I think he will.
He was the king of the hill. Yadier Molina, of course, was our player of the game. You heard from him earlier. When we come back, we're going to talk more about his home run prowess, 2 of them today in the win as the Cards sweep away the Brewers. Stick around.